My name's Jan Wood. Welcome to today's episode of Coffee Break. And today I'm here at Windmill Street in the Rocks with the Older Women's Network at the Battle Axe Club. So I volunteered my time, 2 hours a week for 10 weeks, and the Battle Axe Club is going to get skilled up and they're going to make their own show. So today our program is about issues around being a battle axe. It's such an old-fashioned word. It's like an obsolete word. It's like old maid. It's like spinster. It's so old-fashioned that my quirky nature finds it rather attractive. And then I thought, through making Battle Axe TV, what we can try to do is redefine the stereotype of an older woman. A battle axe is the opposite to the sweet, helpless little old lady. So today our program is about issues around being a battle axe.
Hello, my name's Pauline Reynolds and I'm quite happy to be called a battle axe. In fact, I've probably been called a battle axe a few times already by other people. One of the ideas about this is to talk about our projects. And the project I'm most excited about at the moment is the publication of a book that's imminent in the middle of the month, next month. That is a collection of short stories and poems put together by the writing group that I'm in. 13 of us, calling ourselves Writers' Dozen. So I'm busy with that, and also writing a novel. It's on the 6th draft. That's not very easy, and writing memoir as well, and working and helping to look after grandchildren occasionally, doing Feldenkrais exercises and aqua aerobics twice a week. But I found that as you get older you have to work harder at just maintaining your health, so I look upon these exercise routines as necessary. The Writers' Dozen is a group of writers. We got together, we're in our 4th year now. We started a writing workshop with somebody called Jan Cornell that was called From First Page to First Draft, and it was a year-long workshop where we were supposedly going to produce something for publication at the end of the year. Well, it took a bit longer than that. One of us is getting a book published on Monday. It could be in the shops. Another one is going to get one published in April next year. We are putting together our own works because we were so desperate to get published and sick of the rejections because we've been sending stuff out all the time. So we decided to put together our own stuff, self-publish it, and we can at least say on our CV that we've got something published. I've just had business cards made, and I now call myself a writer/researcher because that's what I do in my job. So it's a big step to take to call yourself a writer, especially when you haven't had anything published. But we're taking those steps. There's a group, we have one man in our group. There's a mixture of ages. 4 of us are around about my age, late 60s, and the rest are 30s, 40s. So it's a lovely mixture of people. And we're all very happy together and support each other.
My name is Mary Williams, and I enjoy being called a battle axe because I can act like one at times. This is a short story about one day when I was on board the ferry in Sydney Harbour with the dog and doing the right thing, sitting outside with harness on my dog and not many people on the ferry, thinking, well, this is all right, I'm obeying all the rules, as I have in the past when the ferry people would say, oh, just sit outside with the dog, thank you. Well, this particular day, we were sitting outside, Blondie and I, and suddenly someone appeared from inside the ferry, and without any introduction or any ID, he started to bully me about being on the ferry with a dog. And so I wrote a poem about it. And it goes like this, and I called it The Maritime Monster. We boarded the ferry, my small dog and me, from number 5 wharf down at Circular Quay. Bright blue sky with no clouds of grey, along came a buffhead to darken our day. No dogs on ferry, now that is the law. And where does it say that? I answered that bore. We've travelled on buses, Blondie and me. You've made us unwelcome. Should we swim home by sea? With that he bristled. His face turned bright red. I knew he was angry at what I had said. Now I have told you, so listen to me. No dogs on ferries, that's our policy. I stared at the bully. I heard you, said I, and continued to stare at him straight in the eye. I had got his goat while his long lecture lasted, and refused to be bullied by a mean-spirited bastard. He wasn't able to put us off. He didn't know what else to say, and so he sort of got a browbeaten sort of look on his face and walked away.
And I'm also very proud to be called a battle axe, because I don't think I'm a little old lady at all. And I have quite a few projects in my life at the moment, and some are things like gardening, building crafts, dancing, walking, but the main project at the moment is quite a problem. It's because I've got to this age of being an older woman and live in a big house on my own, and have done since 1965 when I first came to Australia. It was a house big enough for 4 children and a husband. The husband's no longer there, neither are the children. So I spend my time occupying the house, the big house, with lots of stairs and a big long driveway, which is sometimes very difficult to push the garbage down at night. But however, I manage, and I don't really want to move at all, but I am quite frequently reminded from my children that it's time to move, it's time to downsize, which I know is a very good idea, but I don't really want to. And plus, it's got so much stuff in it. It's got stuff that's been there since 1965 with 4 children and a husband. A garage full of stuff. Nails in bottles, screws in bottles. All sorts of things in bottles that really should just be thrown out, but I just can't do it. So this big thing at the moment, this project that's hanging over my head is, what do? I don't want to really go and move anywhere. I'd rather stay where I am. But then again, I've got to think about security. I don't like to do all the little things that need doing in a house, like changing bulbs, because it's so difficult. So the thing is, where do I go? Do I go to a villa? Do I go to a retirement home? Do I buy a new house, which I don't like very much, that idea. So, yeah, so that's my problem at the moment, which is the big project that's hanging over my head. Maybe I'm only just looking, but I keep looking at the real estate and thinking, oh, well, that's nice, yes, that's lovely, but that price is too high, and that's awful, don't like that. So this is how I go on, and so I'm just in this big quandary of where I'm going to go next. But no doubt I'll find somewhere. I might just stay where I am. As I say, I've been there since 1965, and that was the first house I came to when I came to Australia, and it was lucky that we got this house and we built it ourselves, so it's something that's special to me. So I think that's all I can say about the project. But that's what it is. It's hanging over my head at the moment, and it's because I'm an older woman. If I was a younger woman, it'd be okay, it wouldn't matter. Not important. And you wouldn't have your family thinking, well, you're getting on a bit, it's time to do something.
My name's Susan O'Brien, and I'm battle axe. I think it has had bad press, and we're just trying to change the press on the name Battle Axe, and I think we'll be able to do that by the end of our talk. The thing that I'd like to talk about, and it's not a project, but it's something that's important to me, and it's about having somewhere safe to live. I live in a place that's women's housing, and you would think that living in a complex with 8 women, that it would be very safe. Well, within the complex it is. But in the last probably 3 or 4 months, twice we've had Molotov cocktails thrown, or we've had fires, and you wake up in the middle of the night and there's fires raging next to your window. It doesn't do anything for you. And also, I think safety in the streets. I reckon the only way to make streets safe is to take the men off them at night, so that we can all get around and no worries. I've been accosted once on the street by some drunk, and this is where the battle axe comes in. It wasn't that I was frightened, I was angry, because he destroyed my evening. I'd been out and had a good time, and I was coming home, I felt good, and he changed that by just accosting me in the street, because he was drunk and he just wanted to pick on someone, and I just happened to be there. And so that's what I think we should do, is you don't have to be violent, but you have to be in charge of what you're doing. You know, if you stand there and shake and shiver, it doesn't do any good. You've got to stand up to these people. I don't mean, because bullies just back off whenever you... Bullies are weak people, and this person was a weak person, and he just happened to have a lot of drink, which made him, you know, aggressive. But he didn't frighten me. But he could have hurt me. That's the other thing. So there is the issue of security. So I'm in the process, actually, unlike Joe, who has somewhere and doesn't want to move away, I want to get away from where I am and find somewhere that I can come home and feel secure. Because if you can't live safely at home, one of the most frightening films I've ever seen was Wait Until Dark. And the reason why that was so frightening was because it all occurred within her home. She was a blind woman, and these people invaded her home, and that's why, to me, it was so frightening. You should have somewhere where you can feel that you can lie down and be safe, and that goes for women, you know, of any age, but particularly older women. There's one woman in the complex I'm in whose hearing is bad. So if something's going on, she won't know about it, and she also won't be able to get out.
I'm Rhoda Sexton. I came to Older Women's Network because I thought this is a great thing, and I just love the ideas of what everyone's doing here. And when I joined Northside, I was only going there to exercise. And since I retired last year, I started going to the information and discussion groups, and I found that what they told me, it's excellent. I go home and I tell my husband about it, and he loved it. He said, "Wish I can come too." Now, what I've been doing now is trying to push that group a bit further, so that the people there will not just sit down and take whatever is given to them, but they will go and help themselves and go and do something for the group as well. So, and we always need new members because we haven't got enough money to run the group. We have to pay the council for the venue, we have to pay all the speakers, we have to pay the instructors. So I'm doing my best to go and try get fundings for them, and talk to all these other people, and also trying to liaise with all the other groups within our area, so that they know that we exist, and they may come and do something with us, and maybe we will get some of our members to go to all the other groups as well. It's a big multicultural center in Willoughby. in Cheswood, so I'm trying to get people to go there as well to see what they're doing, and maybe they can come and see what we're doing. It's very interesting, and I think I love it. If anyone would like to come to Northside and have a look at what we do, we run our discussion group. We run our group every Wednesday. It starts at 10 o'clock with Feldenkrais, 11 o'clock we have morning tea, and then discussion groups, and then we all go out there and have a quick bite of lunch, and 1 o'clock is Qigong.
Where have all the young girls gone? Long time, where have all the young girls gone?
Long time ago. I know where the young girls have gone. Nowhere. They're the older women of today.
And just because we're grey, don't make us feel that way by never asking for our opinion. And we've got lots to say, we've learned it the hard way, and we're entitled to our opinion. They say we're mad, we say too bad. Calling it interference. Bear in mind what's on our minds.
Housing,
Health, social justice,
And a fair go. And even though we're grey, we'll never feel that way. And we'll keep voicing our own opinion.
Good morning, ladies. I'm Mary Butters from Adaminaby, and I'd like to welcome the Older Women's Network Theatre Group, who have come along to entertain you and to listen to a few of the problems that concern the women from the rural areas. This is the first time we've ever had anything in this area like this, and it's been a really good gathering, and we're very pleased with it. This is the third day of a 5-day tour, if you can imagine, and the women from the Older Women's Network Theatre Group and a couple of us along with them have been meeting with groups of women like yourselves in Cookwell on Monday, in Young yesterday. Tomorrow we'll be in Braidwood, and we finish up on Friday in Maruya. And we will have been meeting with women like yourselves and talking with them about what it's like to live in these communities as an older woman. So we hope to hear lots from you during the course of the day. When we perform at gatherings like this, we start by telling you about the Older Women's Network in a variety of ways. They began about 10 years ago now by going down to Canberra to present street theatre outside at Old Parliament House, telling people the way we felt.
ring, 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 ring. Another recorded message.
It is now 10 a.m.
Hooray, I'm through at last.
Good morning. Thank you for calling Centrelink. By pressing the correct number on your phone, you will be able to choose the appropriate officer to answer your call.
Another recorded message.
The current wait time is more than 10 minutes.
It is now 10:10 a.m.
If there's anyone at all out there, will you please answer the bloody phone. Oh, thank heavens these calls aren't timed.
Yet.
Oh.
Calls not timed on the national line, but they're selling Telstra.
000, please, for emergencies.
People should come first, you see.
Telstra's hale and hearty, so please, Mr. Liberal Party, have a rethink. Telstra's howling, the rest is not for sale.
This time, while we've been meeting with groups of older women in small towns, women have had an opportunity to speak up about how they feel about some of the services in their towns and what they think should happen with some of the things that are affecting their lives.
You could be sort of invisible. Particularly the traditional farmer thinks he does everything, even though the wife is there in the background supporting and doing quite a lot that he doesn't really seem to notice. And I've got a good husband. I have felt that at times too.
Yes, we were billeted for 2 nights, and we were so impressed with the hospitality. They were just marvellous people.
I'm not an elder person, I am an older person who never goes on TV shows. The glossies want a beauty who's young and thin and cutie and wrinkle-free, and that's not me. I'm not an elder person, I am a feisty person, and growing old, I'm much more bold.
And please consider this. Ageism is the bias directed towards older people by the temporarily young.
I'm not an elder person, I am a feisty person and growing old.
We haven't got monkey glands. We do get tired sometimes, but we always find it exhilarating getting up and performing. Well, I do. I can be hobbling around, and the moment I get up there, I forget about everything.
Anybody here ever heard of Sophie Tucker?
Yes.
Well, this is not meant to be an impersonation because I don't think anybody could do justice to that.
I'm going to borrow one of her numbers, and I mean every word of this. I'm living alone, and I like it. According to the columnists, a rumour somehow still persists that a certain gentleman and I have named the date, which I must deny. He's a rich and handsome gallant. In fact, he's everything a girl could want. But I've learnt my lesson, and anyhow, I like the way I'm living now. 'Cause I'm a one-ticket gal, I'm as free as the breeze. I go where I want to, and I do as I please. And when I lock up my apartment, I've got all the keys. I'm living alone, and I like it. I'm a single bed, one pillow mama. And there's no papa, sober or stewed, who can come home and shake me and nudge me and wake me to get up and make whoopee when I'm not in the mood. I'll have you know, I'm not going to have any matrimonial wrecks. This thing called marriage is just legalized sex. As far as I'm concerned, there ain't gonna be a Mr. X. I'm living alone, and I like it.